Look around the table. Someone here can't afford this dinner. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's the person sitting next to you. But nobody wants to be the first person to say it, because saying I can't afford it feels like admitting you've failed. So instead we do something much more expensive. We pretend we can afford it. We swipe the card, we tap the phone, and we tell ourselves we'll worry about the money later, except later always comes. And when it does, that tiny purchase doesn't look so tiny anymore, because the real problem isn't one dinner, it's the 100 tiny decisions we make because we don't want to feel left out. The dinner you didn't want to skip, the trip you couldn't really afford, the subscription you forgot you were paying for, the it's only $20 purchase, then one day your bank account looks like this. And suddenly that sentence you've been avoiding becomes the most important sentence in your financial life. And here's the weird part. Sometimes the people sitting at that table are all thinking the exact same thing. I can't afford this either. But everyone is waiting for someone else to say it first. This is where loud budgeting comes in. The idea is incredibly simple. You stop pretending, you stop making excuses, and you simply say the truth. I can't afford that. That's it. No complicated spreadsheet. No 20-step financial plan. No pretending you're suddenly a millionaire. Just honesty. And apparently that's a pretty radical idea. Because for a long time money was something we weren't supposed to talk about. How much you make, how much you spend. And whether you can actually afford the lifestyle you're living, we've been taught to make money look good, even when our bank account doesn't. We post the vacation, we don't post the credit card bill, we show the nice restaurant, we don't show the next morning. The internet makes everyone else's life look affordable, even when nobody's life actually is. And that's where the pressure begins. Your friend orders the expensive thing, so you order it too. Your friends book the trip, so you book it too. Everyone upgrades their phone. Suddenly yours feels ancient. Nobody actually tells you to spend the money. You just don't want to be the only one saying no, and that's the trap. Because spending money isn't just about money. Sometimes you're buying belonging, you're buying acceptance, you're buying status, you're buying the feeling that you're doing okay, and sometimes you're buying the right to not feel left out. That's why saying no can feel so uncomfortable. You're not just saying no to a purchase, you're saying no to the feeling that comes with it, and that's exactly why loud budgeting works. It changes the conversation. Instead of pretending the dinner is affordable, someone finally says the obvious. I don't think I can spend that much tonight. And then something incredible happens. The person across the table says, honestly, me neither. Then another person says it, and suddenly the whole table is broke together, which is somehow much less embarrassing. Because now, nobody has to pretend. And that's the secret power of saying no. Out loud. Because once you say it, something changes. The pressure gets smaller. Your wallet gets a little heavier, and your friends might surprise you. Because there's a good chance they were pretending too. This is the part nobody talks about. A lot of people aren't spending because they can afford it. They're spending because they don't want to look like they can't. That's a very expensive way to protect your pride. And it gets worse when everyone is doing it at the same time. You spend to keep up with them. They spend to keep up with someone else, and nobody knows who started the race. But everybody feels like they have to win. This is how lifestyle inflation sneaks up on you. You earn a little more, so you spend a little more. Then you earn a little more again, so you upgrade again, and somehow you're still broke, because every raise eventually becomes your new normal. The bigger paycheck becomes the bigger apartment becomes the bigger rent, and suddenly the money you thought would make life easier is already gone. That's why loud budgeting isn't just about saving money, it's about taking control of the story. You're telling yourself, instead of saying, I should be able to afford this, you start asking, do I actually want this? That's a completely different question. And it gives you something most budgets don't, a voice. You can say, that's not in my budget. You can say, I'm saving for something else. You can say, maybe next time. You can say no without writing a 5-page explanation. And here's the best part. The more you say it, the easier it becomes. The first time feels impossible. The 10th time feels normal. And eventually, something even better happens. You stop needing permission, you stop looking around to see what everyone else is doing, you start looking at your own life. And suddenly, your money has a job. Not just a destination. This is the difference between budgeting and loud budgeting. A normal budget tells your money where to go, loud budgeting tells everyone else where you won't go. And that boundary is powerful because boundaries make decisions easier. If you've already decided what matters to you, it's easier to say no to what doesn't, and that's where the real savings happen. Not because you became cheap, because you became intentional. There's a huge difference. Being cheap means saying no to everything. Being intentional means saying yes to what actually matters, and that's a much better way to think about money. But there's one more problem. Loud budgeting can become a performance too. You can say, I can't afford that, and still secretly want everyone to know you could. That's not budgeting, that's just another way of performing wealth. The goal isn't to prove you're broke. The goal is to know what you're willing to spend on and what you're not. That's the line, and once you find yours, it becomes much easier to protect your money, your time, and your peace of mind. Because sometimes the richest thing you can buy is freedom. Freedom to say no, freedom to walk away, freedom to choose your own version of success. And maybe that's the real reason loud budgeting feels so powerful. Because it's not really about being loud, it's about being clear. Clear with yourself, clear with your friends, and clear about what your money is actually for. Because if you don't decide, someone else will decide for you. The algorithm will, your friends will, your insecurities will, and suddenly your paycheck has disappeared. Loud budgeting interrupts that cycle. It puts a pause between wanting something and actually buying it. And sometimes that pause is all you need, because most impulse purchases don't survive a little time. The excitement fades, the urgency disappears, and suddenly you realize you didn't need it, you just needed a moment. So here's the challenge. Try loud budgeting for the next 7 days. Not forever, not for the rest of your life. Just 7 days. Every time you don't want to spend money, say why. I can't afford it. It's not worth it to me. I'm saving for something else. Then watch what happens. You might save money. You might annoy your friends. You might discover who actually respects your boundaries. And you might realize something uncomfortable. Maybe you were spending money to impress people who weren't even paying attention. Maybe the person you're trying to impress is just trying to impress someone else. And maybe the whole game is completely pointless, because the moment you stop playing, you finally get to decide what winning means. If this was helpful, please like and subscribe.